Alright, looks like we're good to go. So, now we're going to be going through my final thoughts for Dogma Wuthering Heights in this video, okay? So everything I've thought about the book, it all comes down to this video, and I know my background is more flashy recently. I don't know why it's doing that. Alright. Actually, so what I did was I noticed that my videos I was positioned too low, so when I tried to put myself higher, it's all my camera really, and my camera is like making everything bright. Alright, my camera does have its own special light, but the light really doesn't affect it, so I'm sorry this seems a little bright to you. And me, it obviously seems normal, but for you guys it seems a little bright. Anyway, what are we going to talk about Dogma Wuthering Heights? We're not really going to talk much about the book. I think I've done that enough for you guys. You guys will just have to wait till Tuesday if that's when you're planning on reading it. Sometime in the future after that, you guys will have to wait. I've pretty much said everything that I could, but I feel like there's one last thing I need to say before you buy the book. There are some things that you should know. Obviously, you know what's going to happen. It's pretty obvious. That's one thing. But let's talk a little about the book, and see how it's doing. How many people really want this book? So, if you go to Amazon, all right, it's placed at number 8 currently right now as a date of the date of this recording. It's at number 8. It says over here. But you guys can't see my phone, can you? But the point is, it's first week on the list, number 8, Wuthering Heights by Dave Pilkey, publisher Graphic. It's obviously gonna be Scholastic imprint. All right. So yeah, and they've also got the Dogman movie they're working on. They've got the Dogman musical. They have Khaki Comic Club. So even after Dogman's over, there's really going to be something left behind of him. Even though this is the last book and it's going to come out next week, there'll always be more things that are as a result of that. Okay. And a lot of people are pre-ordering this book. Okay, it's at number 8 on the list of Amazon's charts, most sold. Okay, it's number 8, which is pretty good. All right, so a lot of people are buying this book. All right, and obviously I really have nothing to show you. I don't really have any first few pages of the book. You guys can go ahead and on maybe some YouTube channel or someone's Instagram page, or maybe somewhere you might find out what the first few pages of Dogma and Wuthering Heights will look like. Maybe the part with the Virgin Herald, maybe the part with some other people. Right? What chapters go on, but we know what it's about, so there's really no point of it. And obviously, as soon as I get the book, hopefully I will get the book. I'm not saying I will get the book, but I probably will. Now, I can either pre-order it from now until Tuesday, or I can just get it on Tuesday itself. But the thing is that Amazon will take 2 days shipping. Now, I know I can go to Costco and maybe get it, but they make the books a little more expensive. But not that expensive either. So yeah, but I will probably get the book. You know me. Alright. I will try to get it. But besides that, I think, like I said, they have the Dogman movie going on. And I think the guy from Animaniacs, if we search up Dogman movie, movie by DreamWorks. Obviously, DreamWorks couldn't make it. DreamWorks made Captain Underpants movie, which did okay. Honestly, I have never read any of Captain Underpants books, but the movie was pretty okay to me. It wasn't that good, but it wasn't that bad. I did not at all see the Netflix TV series. Nope. That's out of my leash here. But it looks like the guy who made Animaniacs is gonna make it. Hey Sammy, I'm just talking about Dogma and Wuthering Heights.
So, what?
So do you want to say anything about it?
No.
No?
Why?
Alright. What is this? Spring season? It begins. So today's the first day of spring. Alright. And ends then. And that's, I guess, when summer will begin. The summer solstice. I guess. Anyway. What I'm gonna do now is. So I think, yeah, the guy who made Animaniacs is gonna be the guy who's gonna work on making Dogman, the Dogman movie. And what else we got going on? We have Khaki Comic Club. I don't really care much about the series. I saw the first week and I'm like, nope, I'm not reading this. I'm done. But even though this is the last book, you can always go ahead and reread this 10-book series. I know it's not going to be anything like Captain Underpants. Captain Underpants and Dogman are separate. Sure, they're kind of in the same universe, you would consider, but they really have nothing in common of each other. Okay, they're their own things. And as far as storylines go, they may have referenced each other, but then again, they're not that similar. Alright, Kanka Comic Club's been around a long time ago. Alright, it's one of the first few things JPOK has ever worked on, and but it's doing okay. Dog Mother has is shorter, but it's really its own storyline. And Ishan told me that there might be more books after this. And I'm like, no, this is the last one. Just accept it. There was a time when I thought the ninth one was the last book. It wasn't. Then I realized, okay, the 10th one is the last one. Because really, no one really knew much about Mother and Huts. Dave Pilkey, as I said, has been very secretive about this, but now that it's here, what's there to be secretive about it? We got Petey's mom, right? We got Petey's dad, we got Petey, little Petey, we've got Dogman, who really might not have much say in the storyline after, because he's less involved after he pretty much went to jail and brawled wild, and then everything after that, it's pretty much just cause and effect of who does it, and Kid Dogman saved the day, and that's pretty much it. I mean, the story's okay. It's short, but then again, you anticipate for it, but then when you read it, you're like, it's okay. And then you just keep waiting for what happens next. But then when it's over, after this book comes out, you're like, okay, what happens next? So hopefully, I want to make sure that the book hopefully concludes this book well. I know the fleas are going to be in it, so I hope that he puts them to good use. Well, Piggy's obviously in it. Hopefully we do get this, this is a sign of indication of the fleas in it, because as I've said many times, they're my favorite villain. And of course, Petey, his story arc is now over. He's gonna become 100% a good guy. So at the first book, he was like top villain, and then the second book, still villain, and then the third book, because we got Tale Two Kittens, which kind of brought him down and kind of made him a better guy. And I remember that one funny time when Petey was telling little Petey, you should always strive to be a good cat, and then little Petey was like, hey, you should try to be a good cat as well, because I know he was saying something, and he basically used his words against him, alright, so he was trying to basically convince Petey that he should, little Petey was trying to convince you that he should be the best cat that he can, and that doesn't necessarily mean being a good cat, but it means being the best person he can possibly be. And now the main reason he became a villain is pretty much what the fleas did to him and his entire backstory. Alright, that happened, but his backstory really didn't have much to do with him becoming a villain. It was pretty much his side that he chose, and after the whole Critter Scouts thing, they pretty much went their separate ways, and I cannot believe what basically was Piggy's idea to basically blame it on Petey, I guess, on what happened to them and how they got, I don't know, they were stranded on this island and then like blamed Petey over it, and then just listening to that was pretty funny, about all the stuff that happened, but still they blamed it on him, and he felt pretty bad about that, and he just looks back at little Petey and everything that happened to him, and he wasn't always a bad cat, he started out as a good cat, but these events really showed him that he could be a bad cat, and when he was living as a bad cat, he was pretty much, his own guy, but there was always some good left in him, and little Petey was that good in him. He was always trying to bring that out of him, But one thing I don't like about little Petey, he's a little too goofy, I mean, this is a kid's series, so obviously you need some sort of comic relief character, or you're someone who's just there to tell the jokes, but has some storyline after. Now, the one main reasons why I don't like Kanka Comic Club is not because I don't like little Petey. Little Petey is okay, my idea, but why do they have to make him so silly and funny, I mean, a little bit I get, but this is just ridiculous. He's smart on the inside, actually, fun fact. We know it, but they make him do these weird and useless things. Like, he could pretty much be put to better use, His brain is almost as big as Petey's, Alright? Remember when they were making inventions, he was telling Petey, hey, did you do this, did you do that? And he pretty much knew the stuff, So, he's not dumb. He is pretty smart. Alright, but, they didn't really put him to much of the good use that he could have been in. Right, and he was just annoying Petey after that, like an annoying little brother. Little Petey was that guy, Alright. But he had some pretty good points on convincing Petey to be a better cat, and he did do that. But I don't think the love versus hate thing could really have changed him, It was pretty much more so his decision, and he knew that it would end with him and his dad, maybe his dad would be like, hey Petey, come join with me and we can rule the world as father and son. But besides just that, Petey has chosen to be on the side where he is the best version of himself, and Petey's dad is getting more powerful than ever. We got sinister sippy cups in this book, right? So they're gonna be having a major problem. We've got Commander Cupcake coming back as Big Jim. Now, one of the main questions, obviously, I've been wondering is why did he go to jail? He doesn't seem like the guy who would do anything really bad. But then again, people can go to jail for a lot of weird things, and I'm pretty sure him could have done something that could have ended up in jail. But I'm pretty sure Big Jim probably impacted Petey's life as well when he was in jail, you know. Sure, he was also an annoying guy, so when little Petey wasn't being annoying, Big Jim was being annoying. And sure, he was a comic relief character, but there was also something in him and a storyline that I'd like to explore further. You know, the Adventures of Commander Cupcake. If Dave Pilkey makes something like that, I would love to hear. You know, that is another storyline that seems pretty interesting to me. You know, and what happens to him basically. Okay, and I remember in when PD got out of jail, right? Because he pretty much saved the day and was pardoned. Um, Big Jim, I think he still stayed in jail, you know. I don't know how long his term was in jail for whatever he did, right? But hopefully we can see Big Jim again as Commander Cupcake. He will be in this. As we saw him, there was some spray with him and Petey's dad. Now, he has to deal with Petey's dad now. And Petey's dad, now, how smart is Petey's dad? I was just thinking about it, you know. He doesn't seem that smart, but he pretty much is. And I want to see him become the best villain he can possibly be, and a good bad guy storyline as well built up, you know. Obviously, we got that father-son relationship going on, and, you know, he's just gonna become evil, obviously, and I can't wait to see what he does, you know, and what his plans are, and how they're all going to unveil, you know. And I remember when I saw the trailer for this book, it said Little Petey and Molly are gonna sing silly songs. I was wondering, isn't that a waste of time? Those silly songs might help, you know? Alright, but then again, since they literally put the word silly in it, determines how whether it'll be important or not, you know? And these books are pretty simple, you know, there's nothing too interesting about them. But the reason why I'm after them and I'm talking about them so much is because their story is pretty interesting, you know, and after all Dave Pilkey is done, this is kind of a better series than Captain Underpants. Now I know I can't say that because I never read any of the books, but I just never had the urge to really read any of them, you know. They're both comic books in their own way. They pretty much are. And then we got Cat Kid Comic Club, which pretty much has the name in it. But Cat Kid's book is a comic club where people make their own comic clubs. I mean, how ironic is that, you know? Right? There's a double meaning in it. And then after that, there will be more Cat Kid Comic Club books after it. But this book, it will be the conclusion. So I think it's gonna take place just a little bit after Grab and Punishment. That was the ninth book, right? Hopefully I'm not forgetting any of that stuff. Yeah, ninth book. Dog and Grab and Punishment, you know, the mayor, the cat, all that stuff. Okay, now let's talk about Mayor for a second. I love the Mayor. His character was pretty interesting, you know, but of course he was another funny guy, you know. He may seem all tough and strong and like one of the guys like Chief who's angry, but he doesn't really pretty much like Dogman, you know. I mean, Chief tries to like Dogman, but when he does something bad, he gets angry. But the mayor does like Mr. Snookums, his teddy bear. He's pretty much after him all the time, you know. And then because Dogman saved Mr. Snookums, he pretty much cares more about his teddy bear than him. And he's the mayor, alright? And he is the guy who puts everyone in charge of pretty much what they do. And, you know, it's pretty interesting. Of course, I would love to see Sam Hamilton in this book if they could. I know he pretty much has nothing to do with this because the Dogman movie that they pretty much made in the books that they talked about, that was pretty funny, you know. I mean, Sam Hamilton was one of my favorite guys, you know. Obviously, he was that angry kind of guy, but he was also hilarious, you know. And obviously, him being funny is his thing in his own way. You know, I mean, he wanted to make a Dogman movie, but he pretty much had his own ideas, and when Dogman gets in the way, but he doesn't care. He pretty much doesn't even want Dogman to be casted as Dogman, you know. He could just find someone else to play him, you know, some sort of other dog, I guess you could say. And then we got Sarah had a food play as Yole. You know, alright. So they're pretty much just replacing people, alright, to make that movie, and he pretty much doesn't care, alright, about what Dogman really thinks of it. And I remember when Yole sent the tickets for the premiere of the movie, and when they were seeing it on the screen, you know, it was just ripped through the theater, you know. Alright, that was pretty funny. Alright, and then I'm pretty sure he must have been pretty angry about that. Alright, what else? Who else is gonna be in it? We know that. What do we know? What do we know? Oh yes, we also know that there probably will be something at the end of this book, you know, saying what to expect after this. But since this will be the last book, there are lots of ways this storyline could go. You know, they could continue exploring Kakyo Comic Club. Now, one question someone might wonder is, will someone die? Will someone die in this book? Like, die. Not alive anymore. Gone. And people have pretty much thought that Dogman was dead for some time, or someone else, you know. And pretty much, there has been death in this book. The first one, literally. Alright, Petey planted a bomb, and that dog did not know which wire to cut. Alright? Oh no, I think he knew which wire to cut. Because remember, Dogman was smart, but that other guy, his owner, I don't know what his name was. They didn't really talk much about him, but the guy from the first book. You know, dogs can obviously talk. So, and the bomb was about to go off, so you had to choose green or a red wire. And when they cut the green wire, boom, cut the red wire, man. Not that hard. Everyone should know that's the wire you cut to defuse a bomb. All right, green goes off in the hospital. Now, one thing really funny was in the book they said the parts of their body were dying. You know, one had a head dying, one had a body dying. How does that work exactly? If a part of them is dying, then they're dead. You know, nothing's gonna save them. You know, if someone's head is chopped off, then they're dead. You know, they can't just replace them with a new head and make it seem normal. But obviously, this is a kids book series. Anything can happen in Dave Cookie's creative brain, I guess you could say, and that is what happened. Alright. Now, I don't know why, but I mean, George and Harold do make the books. I mean, they say, hey, we created these, but we obviously know that George and Harold live in the Captain America's universe. So, George and Harold might be able to have, Dogman and Captain Underpants maybe do a crossover, maybe like a team up or something. Alright? But then again, that's George and Harold's idea, which is Dave Cookie's idea, so it's pretty much up to him what he wants to do. Alright? What else? I think we should watch the trailer once more, you know? Just make sure that we get everything we need to. Now, by go over the trailer, I mean, I'm just gonna scan through it, you know? Or actually, no. That's not really. Maybe we could do Dogman Wuthering Heights. Okay, you guys, there's something to admit here. This seems a little weird, what I'm reading here. Okay, you guys, I was wrong. Glad to admit that. So, Dogman Wuthering Heights is not the last book. If you go to Wikipedia, there will be an 11th Dogman book, I guess you could say, called, I don't know if you can read that, I know it's a little bright. I'll YouTube for a second. Dogman Wuthering Heights Grandpa's Revenge will be the 11th book in the series, which will be released on September 2nd, 2021, about a year after Crime and Punishment. So there will be an 11th book, I guess, you know. But the story has pretty much died down, you know. I mean, what else can they get? Spoof, Wuthering Heights. Alright, now I know you can't really trust Wikipedia, alright, but I mean, for a small source, I guess you could say Dogman, the 11th book, Grandpa's Revenge, Dogman, Grandpa's Revenge with the series will be released on September 2nd, 2021, which means that there will be an 11th book. Alright, we've got a bunch of characters in here. Alright. So, wow. So I couldn't really find much of a sneak peek, but so there will be an 11th book of Dogman, I guess. But they literally said 10th one is the last one. Do they need to make more, or do they want to like make more to Cat Underpants? That'll take a while. Alright, I'm gonna have to end the video. That was weird. Me just realizing that there are 11 books, as a matter of fact. So I guess Sean was right. They are gonna make more. I just thought that the 10th one would be the last one because it's like, hey, now we're done, you know. But how did people really know about the 10th one? So that means there will be an 11th one coming out September 2nd, 2021. Alright? Wow. Alright, guys. I will think on that. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it for Dogman Wuthering Heights. Alright? Which won't be the last one, I guess. And Grandpa will eventually get revenge. And then really, what you're going to call them, the 11th book. Which means if they're going to make one, Dave Pilkey has to get on it right now. Okay? He pretty much almost has to be done by now, you know, with that book. He was gonna pretty much talk about it and stuff, you know, and release a teaser trailer for that book. But we'll see, okay? So I'm done, you guys. I'll see you soon.